world, so many things go unspoken.
But now is the time to speak truth to those conversations so we can finally address trauma and awaken healing.
I'm C-Lane, an entrepreneur, sound designer, composer, and truth seeker.
And my name is Brodie, artist, educator, and content creator. Welcome to Open Canvas. Let's paint!
All right, we just played our intro for the first time. Okay, welcome. All right, welcome to Open Canvas, everybody. Today's topic, we're going to go ahead and get right into it. And Brodie, I think we just both sort of lead this since it's our first thing on Facebook. So let's just see where it goes.
Listen, I'm here
Come on
for it.
here for it.
I'm gonna go ahead and share our link.
Oh, yes, please do. I need
Just
to share the link, too. Hey, look, I'm going to figure. Okay,
absolutely.
yep, share. Ooh, okay, here we go. Here we go. Go write a little post. I'm going to write a little post. Okay, live now. Post publicly. Boom. All right, y'all. So, for those of you who may already know, our topic today is, should I get married?
Mm,
Woo! And when we originally came up with this topic, I ain't gonna lie, I don't know if I'm prepared for this, but
ooh,
we
C-Lane, why you ain't prepared, friend?
I mean, it's tough. It's a tough topic to conceptualize because I don't know about you, but I always walk away from these discussions and I'm like, wow, I just learned something. I'm ready to take on the world. And it's like, it's a scary thing if by the end of this discussion, I'm like, time to get married, so it's like, I don't know how the discussion is actually going to go or play out, but that's why we do what we
Mhm.
do. It's some topics that's going to be easy
Right.
for us and some of them ain't.
Some truths will be
Come
revealed.
on, truth will be revealed.
I mean, that's what we're here
So Brodie, let's start off with a definition. How do you define marriage, sir?
for. Well, that's crazy. I don't think. I mean, obviously, we know as far as from the American perspective, the legalities of us going, getting licensed and being officiated through a ceremony. Um, But to me, I feel like the term of marriage has transmogrified into something else just because, if it's
Transmogrified? What does that mean?
basically it's a big word for saying transformed into
Okay, okay,
something
okay.
else. Like,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah. Because I think that, we see marriage as, some people only see the ceremony aspect of it. Some people say that it's official because it's on paper. And there's some people that say that it's not official because if your heart's not in it, then are you really married? So, I guess for me, um, from my perspective, marriage, though it is nice for it to be acknowledged legally, but I think for me, more so is something that is a connection between two people that are dedicated to the foundation of their relationship and to work each day to build it to become something better.
Mmm. That's good. That's good. Well said. Well
That's-
said. Um, and yeah, I mean, I think that's very similar to how I look at it as well. Um, Marriage to me it's really the essence of a commitment. It's like we, in our mind, our body, our spirit, our soul, we feel like this can work for the long
Right.
term, right? Because I will always advocate for more unbroken families. Just because I've seen so
That's
many. I've grew up. Sometimes that's all I've known is broken families. So I feel like marriage is definitely a step, if done well, if done with the right intentions, can actually lead to a family that stays together, a family that really is able to provide for any future creations and offspring or teaching. There's so many things. Um, so yeah, that's how I look into marriage. Mr. Brodie, where do we want to start? I got some topics. But let me know if you want to start somewhere.
be my guest.
Okay.
I felt like I can't. I thought I came in hard with the last few topics. So I'll take the submissive route this
Okay,
time.
okay.
I'll take the recessive.
Come on with it. Okay, yep, let me change one thing on this Skype real quick.
Okay.
We're gonna go down here and go to yep, microphone. Boom. Okay,
What is?
cool. I think that helped. So, um, so my first thing, right? I want us to discuss whether we have considered it before, right? I think that is definitely going to be eye opening in this discussion
Oh yeah,
to
I've considered
see
it.
whether we have actually thought
Still
about it, and
actually
if we did,
considering it.
did it stop?
I'm
Did it
someone
stop short,
who
and did we run
I
away
like the
from thinking about
idea
it
of
even
knowing
more? So I'm asking
someone
you, Miss Brody, have you even
is
ever
wanting to,
considered marriage?
invest and build something with me and publicly let that be known in front of people. And I think it's something beautiful to be said about someone um, who has that strong of a love or a bond with you that wants to see where this goes and, you know, where does it flourish off to? How about yourself? Uh-huh.
Okay, okay. And
Mm.
now in your, if you
So
don't
I got to
mind me asking, in
reveal
your
that
current
current
situation,
situation has
has it
stopped
come
being
up yet,
current.
or is there still a lot more
Um,
time
no, no,
to go underway?
no, no, don't. I know we haven't really had time to talk about it. But I was like, I remember like you brought it up either last night, and I was like, should I say it? I'll just save it for the show. But no, no, it was a mutual decision to just kind of take a step back and be friends. We did talk about it before, and I think this is one of the reasons why I felt like maybe it was okay for us to take a step back because I was
Okay.
someone that I do want to get married, and they're someone who don't. They're not a fan of the institute of how institutionalized. I don't want to say institutionalized, but yeah, or how commercialized the aspect of marriage has become. So they were like, they would be okay with doing a
Yeah.
having a situation where they would commit, but not necessarily marriage itself. Um,
Mm.
no, that was one factor. That was one factor. We could save all those other ones for another time, though, for sure. Like, not like it's like I don't want to talk about it, but like that could be stem onto other things. Maybe for like another episode. Like maybe I don't know why we break up.
So is that what
Yeah,
led
but that was I
to,
would say that
or
was
was
one
that
of the
just one
things
factor?
that
Just
I
okay.
definitely thought
Yep.
about a lot. And I'm
Okay.
glad that that was a question or a situation that was brought up because I was asked myself was like, do I really want marriage? Like, it made me think like, okay, do I want
Yeah,
marriage
yeah,
or
yeah,
did
yeah,
I
yeah,
romanticize marriage
yeah.
so much that I felt like it's just this perfect thing, like kind of how we do with relationships. Like, oh, we see this person buying them flowers and roses, and we want that for ourselves. We don't know what that couple has gone through. Whereas, like for marriage, we see the ceremony, but we don't see what happens before the marriage, like the build up to it. We don't see once people are married and the honeymoon phase is over. Like there's a lot of things about it other than the fact that like you dedicate your love publicly to your community. Um, so like
Mm.
the discussion. Huh?
Yeah.
Mhm. Is that
And
okay?
wait, wait,
Well,
hold
I
up.
was just saying that it
What
made
you just
me
said,
the
dedicating
the
your
fact
love
that that person felt
publicly
the way they
to
did
your
about marriage. It made me
community.
look into
That's
my own
deep.
perspective
That's
of
deep. Okay, I'm
marriage,
gonna let you finish your thought,
and
but I want to
I had to
segue
like
into that
really question because there was a point
community.
where I was like, do I
Um.
really want to get married, or do I just want some of the
Oh, did
benefits
you
that
finish
come
your
with
thought?
being married, which is having that dedication, having that soulmate, and etc. Do I really need the license? Do I really need the officiant there to certify our wedding? To solidify.
Yeah. Hey, sir.
Hey,
I don't know. It just cut out, but it's back on. I think we're still on. Uh, I have one too. Am I the only one dealing with a lag? Okay, let's see. One, two, check, check. Yeah, I think the stream will go out. It'll freeze and then it'll come back if we're on. Let's see.
okay. Ebony says, "Oh my God, this is so much better."
What is so much better? The lag? Okay, let's see.
I
Um,
guess.
let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, they said
Okay.
it's better now, but then we froze. So we'll
Mm.
come back. Oh, okay. I think it's back. Okay, hold up. All right. Well,
I
let's
think
keep going.
I think we're good. I think we're
I
good.
think we're good. I think we're
All
good.
right.
All right, here we go. So okay, so on community, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is, I have attended two weddings recently, and
Well.
one, and actually both of those weddings, what amazed me really cemented who their community was. And I felt that I was a part of this newfound connection to take, this journey with them, because a marriage takes a village. A union takes a village, because it wasn't just those two people involved that got them there. So that's what I found to be most revealing. So I like what you said, that it is a public sort of display of a union between you and your community.
Mm-hmm.
um yeah, so it sounds like if you were to get married, you would like to have a public wedding. Is that correct? Public versus private wedding?
I mean, okay, I say publicly, like I don't say like I want the whole world to be there, but like I think I do want I want people who I consider my community. So I guess you could say more so in a private sense, but like I mean, yes, more so. I guess ideally like the kind of private wedding. I don't want anything that's like in the middle of Disney World and everyone can be like, "Oh my God, congratulations!" No, no. Um, but there is a sense of joy when you can freely within your community, at your wedding, express how you feel from the heart, from your heart about the other person. Like,
Mm,
you know, I don't care who you are. You always find yourself either getting emotional or crying at a wedding because the dedication that you're witnessing is just beautiful.
yeah. Yeah, because you
So,
can actually see love. You can see love firsthand, and often we don't. Right? We come together for funerals. We come together for wars. We come together for protests.
jeez.
And sometimes in smaller settings, we come together for birthdays, celebrations, and stuff like that. But to actually come together for a large display of love, is a very powerful thing. It's a very powerful thing. Okay, great. That's all fine and great. Marriage is beautiful and lovely. Now,
Right?
my question is, I want to get into some of the some of the pros and cons here,
Talk
of
about them.
marriage.
Talk about 'em.
So, I know the first con that I think of, that, well, not even that I think of, that I hear a lot of people say when they fear marriage. One of the cons is, wow, do I know that I want to be with this person for a lifetime?
Mm.
People are thinking about, like, dang, does that mean I can never talk to anybody else? I ain't never gonna kiss nobody else. What a shame, what a shame.
But see, I feel like if you're dating someone and you feel like you're missing out, then that may be that I think is a good indication that that might not be your intended person.
Come on, indicator.
Yeah, because you should never find yourself in a relationship being like, dang, I ain't doing this, I ain't doing that. Like, even with the gentleman that I just stopped talking to, even though I had a lot of other men that were reaching out to me, I never felt like, dang, I could have been talking to these dudes. No, because I was building something with someone, and I don't have any regrets because I came out both emotionally and mentally smarter or intelligent than where I was before, just about dating and how to approach it and what things I need for when I do find my significant other.
Yeah. Um yeah, no, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. And I agree. Like you said, it's a big indicator for you might need to do some more development on yourself so that you when you do get in a committed relationship or you're dating somebody seriously, you can
Mm.
actually be like, okay, I know what I need, I know what I don't need, and this person matches it. If you don't know whether that person matches your needs, wants, and desires, then you still got some things to plan out and figure out
Right,
and work out.
right.
Um.
Oh,
Okay,
hold on
so
one second.
Mr.
I just
Brody,
gotta
give me a
say,
con.
give me one second. So I just gotta say hey to my homegirl Kiana. Hey, boo, how you doing? So I'm streaming on the laptop, and I saw her pop up with the wave, and she's so supportive and
Okay,
very positive.
come on,
Um,
Wave.
now you said give you a con.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Give me a con. What is one of the cons that you hear of when it relates to marriage?
Um, so really relationships in general, but marriage in particular, I think that when we get so bogged down to what societal stipulations and norms are when it comes to marriage that we try
Mm.
to abide by them. And we have to realize that each relationship it has specificity, it's individualized. So yes, there are some things that we can pick and choose from that works that's conducive for that relationship or that marriage. But I think to sit there and try to go by a specific guideline is shooting your marriage in the foot.
Ooh.
Um, I think, in fact, well, I think someone asked a question yesterday on our Instagram page about,
What they say?
um, they were talking about when do you know to date again. And I didn't even feel comfortable necessarily answering that question because I can't tell you when you're ready to date again, but I can tell you, but I can tell you what would be some strong or beautiful indicators when you feel like you might be ready. And I think it's just when you find, or well, that's just an example, but I feel like when you find yourself in a marriage and, you and your partner, I kind of think of marriage from a perspective as a business. And when you and your business partner work together to build this relationship, just like open canvas, you're going to find yourself in moments where we have to keep growing, we have to expand. So I think when both parties feel like there's a time and a need for the expansion, you will
Mm.
feel that. But don't go off of someone saying like, "Oh, well, I've been dating for 2 years. What's up?" Don't be going off
I
of,
like that.
"Well, y'all living together. What's up?" No, because those other people who are speaking those trying to tell you how to live your life, tell you how to live your relationship when they're not a part of the business to begin with. uh, I mean, McDonald's never went to Burger King for advice on how to become a fast food chain restaurant. So
Come
why are you
on.
going to somebody else about your relationship? They're not even a part of the business.
Hashtag. You don't even make French fries the same. You don't. You don't.
Right?
Yeah, I like what you said. Expansion. When you feel like there's a need for an expansion, you do it, and I think that goes into for those people who are asking themselves the question of is it the right time to date, and I think that also goes into people who are asking themselves the question of is it the right time to get married. If
Mm,
both people feel like there is a need for an expansion, because let's face it, right? A relationship where you are dating somebody is different from a relationship when you are married. I mean, marriage has different parameters. Anybody that I've spoken to says that when they decided to get married, it had the connection had a level of depth to it, and
yep.
sometimes a level of seriousness, but also just a level of like, okay, we're in this for the long haul. Let's really, do what we can to make this work and make this healthy. And I feel like that is everybody's intention. Everybody's intention is they want a marriage to work. They want it to work. However,
Yeah.
sometimes the reality is people don't know themselves, right? People don't know that they need that expansion yet, and they just go into it not being ready, not being ready. Um,
I think, well, the thing is, especially someone said this other day about social media creating facades and creating unattainable goals because people are trying to reach goals of couples that aren't them. And it kind of makes them prioritize their relationship in a way that's not conducive for them.
mm,
When we see certain relationships and we say relationship goals, are we truly wanting that? Are we truly wanting to be that couple, that power couple, or do we want to be that couple that has power? And I think the difference between the two is when we see these power couples, we're like, oh my gosh, they're doing things. I want to be a boss like them. I want to be hashtag Will and Jada, whatever. But we see this moment of them. And
mm,
we've seen this one aspect of them, and we try to mimic and try to reach for just an aspect
yeah,
of that
yeah.
relationship. And it's like, well, was your goal in this relationship to be in a relationship that has power, or were you just trying to be just like that power couple? Like, what is your goal? And I think that, we have to keep in tune with our priorities about what are we needing from our significant other and what we need to pour in into our relationship to see what comes out.
Yeah. So Ebony has asked us, when do you think you're ready for a relationship or marriage?
Mm,
I like this because I've also and I want to address this as well. I've heard some people say, I gotta at least be with the person for 1 year, gotta at least be with the person for 3 years, 5 years, right? And it's like there are these um
societal
thresholds,
strictures.
right? Right? There are these thresholds, societal norms that people feel like, is the right time to get married. But I really feel like aside from any arbitrary time, because time is different for every couple, quite frankly.
Yeah, yeah,
Some people cannot know each other in 10 years. They really can't. It depends on if they're doing the personal work to actually know each other. So timelines is tough to predict and say that is the right time for everybody. But I feel
correct.
like going to what we've been saying thus far, it really has to be a mutual um it has to be a mutual desire for expansion and a mutual desire to cement something with someone because you want to build a non-broken family, you want to build wealth with somebody else, you want to build a commitment that will last the test of time, you want to build this other person's spirit it's like it's that to me, that's definitely the marriage part. And Brody, I'll let you speak to that, and also if you want to speak to when it's the right time for a relationship as well.
So I'm gonna answer the relationship one because I literally just answered this on Instagram yesterday.
Go ahead.
Um, for me, I think when it's time to be in a relationship is you have to check in with yourself. Um, I think people have to realize there's a difference between being single and alone. When you're single, you're not necessarily alone, but when you're alone, it's because you don't know who you are. And before you date somebody, you should be
Ooh,
dating
you
yourself.
done said a word.
Just saying, just he uses me. That's all I'm saying. Um, but yeah, I think when you are single, you still have yourself, if you have self. And when you know who self is, when you have talked and consulted with self about, okay, I'm in a place to where I'm ready to take my business and merge it with somebody else's, when you know exactly what you need for in a business partner, when you know exactly what you're trying to do with your half and how you can utilize with someone else to expand, that's when I think one is ready. Also, you have to make sure that your mentality for a relationship is you're not using a new relationship to fix what was broken with past relationships. Sometimes we feel like we need to be in a relationship because we're seeking something that we didn't receive in the last relationship or a relationship that has been in our life. And we're utilizing the new relationship to kind of build that. We have to be careful of that because you're putting responsibility on something that it didn't even sign up for. That relationship never signed up for the relation for the burdens or whatever relationship you may have with a parent, we may have it a sibling, or you may have it an ex. And I feel like when you're already putting that relationship on rocky foundation, you're not setting it up for the best thing. So I think you have to make sure that you, I think you have to make sure that you really give yourself a chance and an opportunity for this relationship to grow. So, like I said, yes, I'm sorry. Oh, absolutely. Like, I think there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, this is my house, this is the status is in, and this is what I'm planning on doing with it. But, and it's okay to let someone know that. But what you're not supposed to do is expect someone to help you build this house to where you need to be. They ain't got no tools. First of all, they didn't know all they saw was the front of the house. They didn't know what was going on in the backyard. They didn't know what was going on inside. They didn't know what needed to be renovated, what mold and damages in the backyard. Child. So that's my so that's my perspective of relationships. Go for it. It's like, you mean I know this like what led to the breakup or what like what do you mean? Oh, and did I did I see the backyard? Did I see the backyard of their house or are you talking about my house? Oh, so um so
Oh, my
honest,
microphone was out the whole time. That's awkward. My bad.
yikes.
But y'all,
Um,
I pressed the mute button by mistake. So, but y'all, I was basically just saying, like, in terms of Brody's recent departure from a relationship, where did he get surprised? Where did he know he was going too far? Sorry about that, y'all.
it's not. I don't think it's necessarily if it was a surprise, as sometimes you can sign up for things, and then you can realize in the midst of a project that I've done what all I can, and I think no ill shade or hate to that person, but I think I'm just going to continue admiring this house from the street and just watch it, just watch the front and vice versa. Like I said, and there wasn't anything where I was like, oh no, I can't talk to this person. I gotta end it. And in fact, it was one of those things where they actually came to me and they expressed how they felt about something, and they knew that I was not in a place. I just to be real, transparent. Coronavirus took a toll because I was a freelancer for the most part. So when we went on quarantine, a lot of my side hustles were gone. So I took a really huge blow, like to the point where I was making like $600 to $700 less every 2 weeks. Um, and to happen to have that happen for like months, I took that little stipend that they gave us. Not saying I wasn't thankful, but like I took that and did what I could with it. But I still had to get myself out of the hole. Now that we're here in the later part of 2020, business is starting to pick back up. I got a little busy. They realized that was something that was triggering to them. And they came to me and said, I don't ever want to have any feelings of animosity towards you and I respect you. And they said that I don't want to stop you while you're in your grind. And I know what you got to
Mm,
do, what you got to do, but I know what I need to do for myself. And so for someone to have that much of self awareness of themselves,
yes,
and I just can't. There was no part of me that could be mad at that because they
sure.
were right. So there wasn't like any. It's just we just were in two different places at two different times. But yeah, keep honestly, like I said, it was a mutual understanding, and I don't know if they're watching already tonight, but hey, how you doing? And got nothing but love and respect. We still talk, so it's still cool.
No, that's good, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you sharing that. That's a good perspective, especially when somebody is able to understand the reason why something is not working out. So I think that's a very healthy way to go. I want to go to a comment that Kendra posted. She said, some people are holding themselves back from being married because they are stuck in doing it a certain way because of community traditions or social media. Okay. Like if the ring don't look, quote unquote, if the ring don't look like this, or quote unquote, if the dress doesn't cost this much, etc. um yeah. I mean, I know some stories of people who uh, are scared of getting into a wedding simply because it costs too much. Or they think that it costs too much. The way that they have been conditioned that a wedding should go costs too much. Um, and I think that is a product of being in a American and European society where a wedding looks extravagant, at least the ones we see on TV. Looks very extravagant. But yeah, so what are your thoughts on that, on weddings needing to look a certain way, marriage needing to cost a certain amount?
It ain't gonna last. It's not gonna last because if
Oh, you mean the connection ain't
the
gonna last.
relationship is not, it's not gonna last. Like my thing is, if you are so bogged down on what the wedding's gonna look like, the size of the ring, is that why you dated this person? So you can get a ring? I mean, you can get a ring playing in basketball. You can get a ring playing in any kind of sports or competition.
Come on, champion.
So, like, if the ring is what you're looking for, hell, just save up your own money and get yourself a damn ring. But like, if so, I feel like if you're putting so much, if you are basing your relationship that y'all built up to this point of with them asking you to be engaged and married, if you're basing this all on a size or a value of a ring, what was it for? You know, and then also one could see it like this. Is the ring a reflection of could the ring possibly be a reflection of the quality of love that you gave that person? Like, for an example, if a man or if a person
Oh, sorry, that's funny. That's funny.
um the amount I'm sorry, the gosh, I forgot what I was going to say. Okay. So if a person gets to a point where they want to propose to someone and they purchase a ring, if they may just feel that the love that you give them could be a reflection of the ring that they give you. So if your love is not the best, maybe you don't deserve the best ring. I don't know. Like there's so many ways you can look at it, but I feel like if you're so focused on the ring, then that marriage is not going to work because rings can get
Mm,
lost, rings can get stolen,
yeah.
but if the
And it's
love is
also
there, and
material. I
real,
mean, it's material. It's material. Here's the thing. I appreciate certain uh Indian cultures, ancient Egyptian culture, whereas if you were getting into a committed relationship with somebody, yes, there was something material to go along with it, but people don't understand that that material was often in the form of a stone because stones carry energy, right? And then America, Europeans capitalized on that and say, oh, people like stones. Well, let's raise the price. Let's only say that diamonds are supposed to be the item that is purchased because that's the most expensive stone. But any stone can give off energy. It could be a sapphire, it could be a ruby, it could be tiger's eye, it could be amethyst. Who the heck cares? But it was supposed to be a stone to cement a certain level of energy, and then but my issue is, Mr. Brody, is that everybody has bought into it.
yeah, to the
Everybody's
point where
bought
people
into it.
people literally think diamonds are worth the money they are. Diamonds are one of the most damn common stones you can buy. Y'all, they're
You
made
can
quite often.
literally pick up a pickaxe and go somewhere in the desert where diamonds plentify and get
Y'all
yourself a
spending
diamond.
hundreds
But
of thousands
people
and
buy
millions of
into
dollars.
it like, oh yeah, this diamond is worth $10,000. Why is it worth $10,000? Because it costs $10,000? Some people need to wake up, quite frankly.
Right.
Going back to the comments, Kendra says, listen, the amount of women who went to college to get their MRS degree is insanely high. Most women are taught that the ring amounts to a woman's worth.
Come on,
Um,
Instagram. I'm gonna use that shit.
right, right. And then Jessica says, no lie, this was especially since I wasn't married by 30. Okay, let's talk about age for a second. Wasn't married by 30. It wasn't so much the ring, but the whole process period. I was so glad for my wake up call. Marriage
Mm.
is a culture now.
That's my
Age.
sister. Shout out to my sis.
Come on, shout out, sis. Age is something that we haven't necessarily brought up, and I know that factors into a lot of people's rush to
Mhm.
get married because they feel like they are running out of time. Um, what about you, Mr. Brody? Do you feel like have you ever felt like time is running out in terms of finding the perfect somebody?
I will say that because I'm a male, I am blessed to not be uh harped on by by society about getting married before I my age dry up and I can't have kids anymore. So like
Male privileges. Yup.
it is such a privilege. And I think because I have that privilege, I have that chance to actually listen to myself and feel like and know when I'm ready to date, know when I find the right person, and when I'm ready to get married. Um, Again, I know I'm speaking from a privileged perspective, but there might have been like my mom might have pressured me here and there, which I don't even understand why. Because I even told her at one point I didn't even want kids because she was like, "We're gonna get married and give me some grandchildren and blah blah blah." I was like, "How about half past never?" So, um,
Right, just cause you asked. Just cause you asked, you ain't getting none. You ain't getting it.
yeah, getting that. But like again, that's and I'm not mad at my mom because she's living off the societal clock of her time, where it's like you got a certain age, you got married, you made kids, you made a home, and she's just passing on what she knew from her time. I'm stopping that generational stress, and I'm not putting any time on myself because or anybody else's time on my clock because this is my life, you know. And let's just say if I did have kids, I get married and have kids, and before I wanted to, and now I'm stuck with all these damn kids, and I'm angry and upset, and I don't want to feed damn one of these motherfuckers because I got these kids based on what my parents wanted me to do. So,
Yeah.
I try, I try to tell everyone that do things in your time. Your time is very important, and you're worth giving yourself the patience.
Mm.
But sometimes I know that's easier said than done. Like trying to learn that.
I like that. Do things in your time. Yes, do things in your time. Okay, so we talked about the cons. We talked about age requirements and is it the right time. So now I want to talk about some of the pros. So I want to identify some of the pros that people relate to marriage. I know one that I hear constantly is being able to combine money and combine assets. And from what I know, that that is a huge thing. I know a lot of people don't know all of the ins and outs of like tax brackets and taxes and stuff. But there definitely are tax breaks for being married. Why? I have no idea why America does that. But anyway, they're tax breaks. Um but yes, being able to enter a loan together, being able to enter certain business parameters together and jointly. However, which can be dangerous because I know some people who have gotten divorces and then all of that stuff that they went into jointly went south. But I
Mm.
know combining assets could be looked at as a pro. What about you, Mr. Brody? What you got as a pro?
Okay, before we go check on that, can you just make sure the connection looks good on the live? I just noticed that I saw I was getting slow here and there. Oh, it's
Yeah,
seamless.
it looks
Okay.
good. I still got it up.
Okay, awesome. My perspective, the pros. See, when it comes to when it okay, financially, are you asking for a financial perspective or a like personal spiritual perspective or just
Anything.
whatever comes to mind? Okay,
Anything, any pros of marriage.
I mean, like, it is great to have that person who just knows you up and down, left and right. And like sometimes you don't even have like things can go unsaid, but something but so much was said. Like I love having that connection with a person. It's good to know that when you go into your home, that there's someone waiting, there's someone there that loves you that's waiting. And with that, there's always new surprises that come. So like there's definitely pros to anything. There's a pro and con to any situation. You know, where they're single, when you're single, there's a pro to like coming home and just knowing that you gotta cook for nobody, knowing that you just be at home by yourself in your peace and your solitude, nobody messing up your TV cues. But also, you know, like there's pros and cons to everything. It's just, you know, you have to decide which consequences you're willing to accept. So if you are someone that's in a that gets married, keep in mind you might find yourself in times where you don't have you're going to come home to someone every time. You're going to have to consider someone else's feelings other than your own. You're going to have to come home and you might not realize your favorite snack is there because they like that snack too and they don't eat your shit. So like there are things, there are pros and cons to everything.
Yes,
Yes.
and I think we have to get rid of the notion that marriage has to look a certain way and be lived out a certain way. Cuz I know I'm a strong proponent of even if I'm married to somebody, great. We still need to have like a room that we can go to where the other person is not. Like
Mhm.
there are going to be nights where yeah, we should probably just sleep in different rooms just so that we cannot lose out on our own energy that we need for ourselves. So like there are ways that we can creatively and some in some ways entrepreneurially look at a marriage situation. It does not have to be the same old. This person cooks, this person goes to work, this person has to do this same role, this same task every time. Like switch up stuff, do something different, and think about those things in advance. Like you should know
Absolutely.
before you get into a marriage, you should know what you need, what level of space you need, what level of re-energizing you need. And if you don't know that, then yes, the marriage is gonna go south because y'all haven't
Like
spoke about the space that you need.
like one of my biggest issues, like when it comes to dating in the beginning phase, if you already give me signs that you're going to be clingy, I'm like, this ain't gonna work because I need to, especially if you be like, if it's like 2 weeks in, you tell me that you missed me. How? 2 weeks ago, you didn't even know who the hell I was. So it's just that I need you to realize that I'm going to need my different spaces. I'm going to need my own time. I'm going to need my moments. And I'm glad you said that because when we have people who are in a bit, who have a business together and they might have to show their faces for events or charities, they don't always show up together because somebody has to do something over here while someone stays at home and holds the fort, or vice versa, or doing two different events. I think it is okay for business partners, i.e., couples, to have their own lives. I think you should still be in touch with who you are, just with a marriage or relationship. It's not just you, it's just not you and yourself. You are now sharing yourself with someone else. You're opening it up to another person and they're doing the same. So I think you just have to
Opening
keep that
that
in mind.
canvas.
Opening that canvas. But yeah, like I think these people have to see it from that perspective. You just can't see it as a marriage as a lockdown or a burden, or you can't see it as like um we always have to be together. You are a person before you got into this relationship. You're still a person when you're in this relationship, and if it ends, you're a person that when you're out of it. So I
Yeah.
think it's always good to do things and activities to keep in tune with self. So
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
I know we. Did you have any other questions? I know we're getting like it's like 7:51. I just wanted to make sure we got through
I
all.
Yeah, I got one more. And
Okay,
that is hypothetically speaking here, because we like to speak in hypotheticals on open canvas.
why not?
Mr. Brody, what does your wedding look like? Future wedding. What does it look like?
you know, I've had like it's crazy because I'm not a person who's like who dreams about their wedding day, but I say this, and I'm going to tell you about a dream that I had about a wedding day. But I'm not someone who's like, I can't wait till I get married. I love it, and I look and I'm excited for when it happens, but it's not something that I'm not obsessed about it. But I had moments where I see myself one in a non-traditional wedding where I see myself where I see my sister actually walking me down the aisle. Um, I've seen it to where I'm emotional, so I see it where I find myself crying. And it's not because that well, obviously because I'm just filled with joy. But like there was a time when it came to because I was in such a low place about myself and I like so much self-love that it was just so the scene was just so beautiful to me that someone loves me so much that they are expressing it. They show it every day and they know me inside and out. And to have a love like that, how can you not find yourself getting emotional? Especially when you come from a place where you feel like you didn't receive a certain type of love or you didn't ever know you were ever going to receive that type of love. So I think for me, my ideal wedding day, honestly, is just having my community, like people who've been with me, people who know me inside and out, all my craziness, and honestly, just having a good time. Like I really more so think about the reception than the actual ceremony because I love food.
Right,
I want my
right.
kids to have a good time. I want my wedding to be inspiring, like to show people you don't have to have much money, just love. Really, love is the most expensive thing that you can bring to the wedding, and it doesn't cost you any dollars.
Ooh,
Just
the
time.
most ooh, come on, most expensive thing you can bring to a wedding. Um, that's good. That's good. Yeah, and I think that's very beautiful too. Like what you said about just crying tears of joy. Um,
Hmm.
that the love is so powerful, and I think for me, I haven't necessarily pictured something, but I know that I would love for it to be some element of outdoors in nature, some way, somehow, just surrounded by nature.
The beach was
And
wonderful
yeah,
for
I
me.
also think of um the reception. I mean, the ceremony is going to be a beautiful thing in its own right, of course, 1000%. Just being able to commit that level and degree of commitment is a testament to how much work you have already put in. So I think to submit that is a very beautiful and emotional thing. um and for me, the DJ just got to be great. I mean, cause
You're
I'm
not gonna go play for
DJ,
your own
and
wedding? I'm
so
about to say.
I'm a DJ, so the DJ got to be fantastic. Like it is a celebration to me. Has to have music.
Absolutely.
And when I tell you I should be sweating and on the dance floor all night, cuz it's like that is the epitome of a celebration. Like I am taking this step forward with this person in this new realm. So let's freaking dance and connect and cement the energies of everybody in our village. And it's like there's something very therapeutic about dancing and moving together and as one.
Absolutely.
So I like that bit of tonal execution and therapy that comes from a wedding.
Mm. Yeah, I think when you said nature, I said one of the things or one of the themes that I was thinking about for my wedding, um, is just I would love it to be on the beach. Water and ocean waves is something that's always bright. Like that is something that always I've always felt connected to. Like I love going to the beach at night. Um, I would just even love like to
Mm-hmm.
have like we have like some tiki torches set up and just have a nice
Yes, come
DJ
on,
booth.
Tiki.
And we just all just has a nice breezy day out. Like that would
Yeah.
be an ideal wedding situation for me.
Mm.
But yeah,
We probably meditate at my wedding. I wouldn't be surprised. Meditate or something.
Chris, you know what? Because you are someone of just And I say no, and I say this like in a great way, like because meeting you, you threw me so many surprises that
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not surprised at what comes out your mouth at all anymore. But and I
That's
love
good.
it. Like you honestly have like just shown me such a spiritual aspect of just being unapologetically you. And that is I was like, you know what? Like I told you, like I remember the first time I met you, and I was like, this man is he's just so happy for
He's just so
no.
happy.
But like, who am I to say someone's so happy for no reason? Like, you know, you have so much to live for. You have so many reasons to be happy,
Yeah.
and I think it's just great to have people in your life that remind you of why there are reasons to be happy. Why is there reason to keep moving? Why is there reasons to look up, keep your head up high, and keep with a strong stride? So
Hey, come on, head up high and strong. Look, I appreciate that. I appreciate
yeah.
that. Any last minute words before we go? I'm gonna play our little 5 second intro and then we'll give our closing statement. But anything else on the topic that we need to say?
Um, be in a relationship with yourself before you're in a relationship with anybody else.
Whew.
And make sure that you know the difference. I'm just going to backtrack and say, make sure you know the difference between single and alone. We said that before. When you're single, it doesn't mean you're alone because you have yourself. When you're alone, it's because you're still finding yourself.
Tell
And
it to them.
so that's all I
And
have to
the last thing that I'll say from our conversation is do it in your own time. Be patient with yourself. Do
say.
not put
Yes.
yourself on an arbitrary timeline based on other people. Do not
No,
feel
no,
like you
no.
have to do things the same way, just like everybody else do it. Ask yourself and your soul and your spirit and your mind and your emotions and your body what it
Yes.
needs for a very special and momentous day. Let me play this for 'em. All right, y'all. That brings us to our final few minutes. So you know that you can follow us on Open Canvas Live on Facebook. You can also follow us on Open Canvas Live on Instagram. We're going to be posting snippets and videos of this hour-long live show content over on our IG page. And you always know you can hit us up on opencanvaslive@gmail.com, or you can just direct message us any sort of feedback or anything that you still are thinking about and ruminating on from this discussion. What else, Brodie?
So keep in mind about the Instagram page. Yes, even though we're doing our Monday night shows here on Facebook Live, we're still going to be having some little mini live chats about certain current events, and we'll keep you guys posted about that. And we're still going to host those on Instagram, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Correct.
Yes. Um, Another thing, y'all, the winter months is getting colder. Please make sure you continue to be safe. Like, yes, it's cold out there. Numbers are spiking up, and it's the holidays. So just be considerate of others. Do the extra precaution. Wash your hands. Get tested. All that stuff. And look forward to the next episode. This is going to be the month of transformation. We're transitioning to a new platform, so we feel like it'll be a great introduction talking about marriage. This is a great transition to a new chapter in your life. And guys, just wait. Sorry, just sit tight and wait for the next episode. But until then, friends, please be safe, sane, and
And
sanitized.
sanitize. Deuces.
Peace.
Love